Welcome to my channel and to the first video of this series where I will be reviewing games I recently finished and share my thoughts about them. Instead of just saying if the game is good or bad, I want to go over the game in a way that when you guys finish this video, you'll have a better understanding of what the game is about. And on top of that, I want to add my opinions on the game's story, gameplay, characters, or whatever part of the game I think stands out. And to better understand my objective, let's say you're on a first date with like fine shit and you don't know how to break the ice. What do? Ask her about herself? No, you explain the whole lore and your opinions on your favorite game, right? So basically, that's gonna be the style of my videos. And for my credibility, I entered this year's GMTK Game Jam and got like top 4K and good comments too. So I'm basically a professional in game development. Anyways,
Resident Evil Revelations.
two. He forgot to say two. Honestly, this game really surprised me. This year, I've decided to get into the Resident Evil franchise, so I finished RE2 Remake. I'm currently playing RE4 Remake and played Revelations 2 when I had time at work or between classes. And out of the three, I enjoyed Revelations 2 story the most, so that's going to be my main focus on this video. So let's begin. Actually, no. Before that, major spoilers ahead, okay? But to be honest, if you haven't played the game yet, you probably won't play it anyways. It came out in 2015, and there's way too many games you should try. So just watch the video. We start the game at this business party, there's champagnes, charcuterie boards, there's an HR lady and CEO of the company who are married, not to each other, getting it on, the usual American corporate party. Until boom, a team of soldiers roll in, kidnap everybody, and inject them with what I believe is matcha. Yup. In this game, we follow Claire Redfield, who's like the girl from Resident Evil 2, but all grown up now, and Moira, who I think is from Revelations 1. I don't know, didn't play it. Point is, our duo wakes up in this beaten up prison after being infused with matcha, and Moira lets us know that
Claire, I just want to go home.
since she just wants to go home, Claire and Moira try to find their way out of the prison. Little do they know, they are being watched by the Overseer, who will keep spitting bars about fear through a bracelet that Claire and Moira woke up with. These bracelets can detect fear and demonstrate a different color depending on levels of fear the user experiences. When our duo finally gets out of the prison, they find a cell tower, thus they head over there in search of help. Moira starts mashing the buttons of the command area thingy because she doesn't know how to unmute, while Claire climbs the tower to get IG pics. And this is when the duo realizes.
Please, send help. Please. Shit. One more time. My name is Moira Burton. Oh, God. What is this place?
After the hype cinematic, we switch perspectives to an almost bald man listening to Moira's message on an iPod. This is Barry, the man whose name has been mentioned about 10 times already through cutscenes and dialogue. He is the father of Moira, and the game really lets us know that they don't connect well. They don't tell us why, but I guess Barry loves her enough to try to rescue her, so he sets foot on the island. And he meets this little girl named Natalia. She was also brought to this island, but unlike the others, she's kind of special. For some reason, Natalia has the ability to sense monsters that are in the area. Though we don't know why, that's probably how she hasn't died yet. And for Barry, this is useful since he can now sneak his way through the levels and take down monsters one by one if he likes. The duo start their journey to find Mora at the prison. They try to follow paths that might lead to her, and then finally make it up to the cell tower also. Barry starts listening to the messages Mora left, but he soon realizes that these were recorded 6 months ago. And Natalia, being noisy, hears that Barry calls for Moira. And upon hearing that name, she is overflown with, like, I don't know, brain seizures.
This was logged 6 months ago. Jesus, Moira.
Your daughter's name is Moira?
Yeah. Why? Hey, kid. You okay?
Moira. She's dead.
What?
So this is Revelations 2 opening. We get a good look at the characters and how the flow of the game will be. We're going to be playing two different time events. One of Claire and Moira trying to find their way out of the mess, then as Barry and Natalia trying to figure out who made this mess. This, with the fact that you have to switch between the duo you're playing to go through levels, is very fun, I cannot lie. Also, this game can be played in co-op, which sounds so fun. I played it by myself, but playing it with a friend would have been amazing. In the game, Barry and Claire hold all the weapons, while Moira and Natalia serve more as support. They can distract enemies, scavenge for items, melee, and follow-up attacks. So, one player would have more action than the other, but it still sounds fun to barely survive through a level with a friend. Well, actually, let's talk about difficulty real quick. Compared to the other Resident Evils that I've played, the difficulty of the levels and the monsters of this one don't really stand out most of the time. So that feeling of barely scraping by a level that I mentioned, I feel like you really won't feel it unless you play the hardest mode. The problem with the hardest mode is that it's really hard, and I'm 100% sure, no copium, that it's meant to be played on like a second run after you've unlocked a bunch of skills on the skill tree. Oh, did I mention there's a skill tree?
Bro, stay down. You're still getting off. Mama hueva so loco. This game is.
The hardest mode being that intense wouldn't be a problem if the difficulty under it wasn't so easy in comparison. The game is pretty short, so in theory you could just play it for the first time and then unlock skills and finally try it as hard mode as probably intended. But I feel like the first one should be the most important to experience, and the difficulty really doesn't hit. For me, it's not the health of the enemies being too low or the lack of enemies in the levels. Actually, I just feel like they kind of give you too many resources, such as bullets and whatnot. You always have enough herbs, always have enough bullets. I just feel like the right distribution wasn't there. And as a professional game developer, as we saw, what I would have done is given out less resources and given more space to the player, whether it's making greater distance between the enemies or actually just open up areas so that melee is more viable. And of course, closing up the distance and area when you don't want it to be that viable. Anyways, back to the story. Rolling back to Moira and Claire, while exploring the island, they encounter their co-workers and my favorite characters, Gabe and Pedro. Also Neil, boss of the gang and sneaky link of Claire, who he was supposed to be there with them but got split on the way there. Anyways, so Claire and the gang meet in this little abandoned town and find an old helicopter that needs fixing, but if fixed, could let them all escape from this messed up island. Around this time is also when the overseer contacts our gang and starts to hint out her objective. She needs to throw them at a wall and see who sticks and who doesn't. And the wall is a virus that she injected into all of them, the matcha. Of course, when they're almost done fixing the helicopter, a siren sounds off, sending massive hordes towards our gang. This is when we see the first effects of the bracelet and the implanted virus. While defending ourselves from the horde, Pedro started to panic, even after my attempts to assuage him.
We're not, bro. We're not gonna die, bro.
Fucking chill out.
Do you see my aim? We're not dying, Pedro. Chill.
And even after my demonstrations of incredible aim,
We got them all, you see? You good?
Pedro?
Okay.
His bracelet changes to the color of fear.
Okay.
There! I got you!
Ooh.
It means he's not the one.
Yo!
boss fight. Actually, I just ran. Neil showed up and saved the day, and split again a little later to redirect a horde. Also with no fear either, by the way. His bracelet was green the whole time. Neil is so cool, bro. Continuing off of Neil's brave sacrifice, we encounter Natalia. So this is how she knows Moira. Not a bad episode. We get to see the matcha virus in action and start to see that the Overseer's intention had to do with people withstanding the virus, or at least fearing this. I don't know. Sadly, we lose track of our former Neil, and my homie Pedro just got homunculied, but at least we get to see Gabe escape the island.
Yeah! Oversee this, bitch! We are off this motherfucking island!
Oh. Well, at least now we have Natalia. Oh. Respective switch to 6 months into the future. We see Barry and Natalia enter this ominous building with interesting interior design. Decapitated baby dolls on the wall, some hanging upside down, blood smeared everywhere, and death threats made to Natalia, which makes us just wonder, who the hell is she? But also, who's out to get her? Luckily for us, the duo find a painting, revealing the one behind this messed up plan. Wesker. No, not him, not Albert. Alex Wesker, the Overseer. Barry finally putting a face to the person who has captured his daughter. He now knows who he needs to find for answers. But searching is not needed, since Alex Wesker appears right behind them. Yet she seems very different, with an inhuman size, hunchback, bruises all over her body, and mouth covered with a gas mask muffling her words. She says, "You finally came, Natalia." Then we switch back again. After the switch to Claire and Moira, the game will switch one more time to Barry, then to Claire, then to Barry again. But for this video, let's just do both Claire and Moira's now, and then both Barry and Natalia's again. So after losing Natalia, Claire and Moira have also received a message from Alex Wesker, telling them that she has captured Neil, and if they want to save him, they have to do this puzzle filled with monsters. So this was a trap. Alex Wesker needed no more of the duo, since she already had what she needed for her plan. What she failed to notice though is that I'm controlling the duo and I'm cracked at gaming, so no way I was gonna die there. The duo was able to escape the trap and were able to sneak themselves all the way to Alex Wesker without her noticing. But when they get there, who they find is not Alex Wesker, but Neil, betraying them all. That short, slimy sewer sludge rat had sold the whole company out to Alex Wesker so she can run these experiments on them, in exchange for a Ouroboros sample, which he did obtain, but not as he expected. Alex Wesker says, "Oh yeah, you want the sample?" Boom, shoots it right up into his chest, leaving that slimy sewer sliding sludge rat all up on the floor, limping. Claire and Moira, on the other hand, after seeing the betrayal happen firsthand, encounter Neil limping towards them. The Ouroboros virus transformed him into a muscle monster, and it's the duo's job to stop him. The duo battled the aggressive Roid Rage man by dodging his powerful attacks and shooting him until he is left a dead lump of muscle. And as they go up the elevator to reach Alice Wesker, bam! Neil slams them back into the ground. Both Claire and Moira try to reach for the gun. Claire, the badass, picks up the gun and serves Neil his last dinner, a full clip of 20mm bullets right into his esophagus. Now, we head for Alice Wesker and stop her from her evil plans. But hold on. What even are her evil plans? Why does she do all of this? The duo passed through what seems to be Wesker's bedroom and found a few notes. One of the reports was directed to Stewart, who was a researcher. It looks like the most suitable vessel is going to be that little girl after all. The other candidates had potential, but that girl is an entirely different class. She is incapable of feeling fear. That's not surprising when you consider what she's been through. Everyone she knew was killed, losing her parents right in front of her eyes. Everything that the victims of this island have been through has been twisted games Wesker and her team have made to see who could feel the less fear? But like for what though? Why go to such extents just to find somebody who got hella balls? I mean, you could have just DM'd me, you know? Then we find another letter. The notes of the transfer procedure. The transfer will take place soon, and my success is nigh. Spencer, you poor, pathetic old man. You spent your final years desperately searching for the secret to immortality. You died while your research was still incomplete. But I have been continuing that research. The body will age. This is an inescapable fact. But we can escape our death by transferring our mind into another vessel. All my efforts have been invested into developing and refining the system. I've had a few successes, but I still have so much more to do before I can consider my work complete. As for now, I can confirm the following. 1. The new vessel must be mentally strong and be able to overcome any emotions of fear. 2. After this transfer, it will take 6 months before the transferred mind can be stabilized. During this time, the vessel should be protected at all costs. Time is of the essence. I must work quickly. TLDR, Wesker's plan all along has been to gain immortality by transferring her mind into a new body. But to do so, she needed the new body to be incapable of feeling fear. And out of everybody she observed, Natalia was the perfect vessel. Our duo finally meet at last with Miss Wesker. But she skips any intended conversation.
We meet at last.
After Wesker's fearless demonstration, the building began to self-destruct, and our duo being right at the top of the tower, they now have to rush their way out, making the next event a timed one, which I really like when devs include in their game. We rush through an imploding building, evading collapsing roofs, debris, monsters, and switching between characters to go through obstacles. The feeling of a clock ticking and being forced to have good teamwork to survive is amazing and so survival horror. With a few seconds left on the clock, our duo are just a few steps away from an exit. All of a sudden, the roof collapses. We are given no time as the player to process what just happened. The clock is ticking. To not make Moira's act of braveness go to waste, Claire saves herself by plunging out of the tower and hopefully making it to the water safe. And that's it for Claire and Moira's events. It's so brutal how the devs didn't give us any time to process Moira's death through cutscenes or at least freezing the clock. Instead, they gave us a more real time situation which felt more dramatic and real. Honestly, brutal, but it's a good choice. I liked it. Now, the last switch. Wesker surrounds Barry and Natalia with a group of monsters aiming to finishing our duo. Fortunately, they find a potential exit and block off the area by collapsing the roof. But god, like, who designed the roofs in this island, bro? For real, that's like the true villain. After escaping the ambush, Barry is upset, and rightfully so. When he encountered Wesker, he had asked her what she had done to Moira. Wesker told him that she buried her beneath the mountain of fear and despair. Now, any uncertainties that he had about Moira's death have been erased.
This is
He now
Moira's.
knows that she is truly gone, and Wesker is to blame. And to pour some more salt over the wound, he later finds Moira's phone and her last message.
I wanted to tell you I love you. I'm very... Daddy. I'm sorry, I wasn't the bad daughter.
No, you're not the bad one.
Barry.
I'm here. Let's go. I am gonna wreck this island for what it did to her.
See, the reason why Barry and Moira never got along was because of an accident that happened in the past. Moira and her sibling Polly were playing in the house, and Barry had forgotten to lock up his guns, and Moira shot Polly. And when Barry saw the accident, he raised his voice at Moira, and till this day, giving her a fear and trauma over guns to the point that she can't even hold one herself. This is why when we're playing as Claire and Moira, she would rather hold a flashlight and a blunt weapon because of her fear of guns. And Barry never really got around taking the blame for it, scaring Moira and drifting her far, far apart. And the fact that now Barry will never be able to make up with his daughter that he knows he loves is devastating. Filled with anger, Barry can think of nothing more than revenge and putting an end to Alex Wesker, the killer of his daughter. Now, there's a few pieces that we have to connect. Why has Alex Wesker turned into such a disgusting being? When we were playing as Claire and Moira, all her plans had already succeeded. I mean, to take the last step of death would mean that she already initiated the transfer. So her mind was already being printed. This is when we get our last piece of note. Hatred for Natalia. I survived. My escape wasn't death. I have nobody else to blame but myself. When I pulled that trigger, in that instance, the thought of disappearing from this world, me of all people, I came to feel fear. How ironic. The viruses inside of me, rotting away my body to the point of death, saved me from death. I have become ugly, hideous. I can't stand the sight of myself. This isn't me, this ugly creature. But soon another me will awaken. The vessel I transferred myself into. I won't allow it. I forbid it. She is the ugly one, yet she'll look at me and laugh of how hideous I am. Why have I become so hideous? I am me, but I am not. I awakened as myself, but then she will also awaken as me. Both are true. No, there can only be one true me, and that is me. She can never be me. She is false. She is a farce. That is why she cannot be allowed to persist. She must be eliminated. I am me. Only I am true. I'll use that abomination. Albert's final legacy. Smother this insufferable island with Ouroboros. She will be eviscerated. She will come to no fear. You will feel the icy embrace of death, Natalia. And then, when you die, false one, I will take your body. I will become the true me. Natalia, you must die. And with this comes our final battle.
Wesker! Oh, no, you didn't.
I understand how you felt now, Albert. It's not enough to live. I want to transcend.
Honestly, I found this boss pretty creepy. Alex still looks kind of human, at least more than the other monsters we fought. I mean, yeah, she has black worms coming out of her body, she's almost as tall as me, and has a core developed from the virus in the middle of her chest. But she keeps a few of her human features. Her hands and her feet look very human. She can speak normally, but most importantly, her skin is still clean and alive, unlike the other enemies. And in a game where all enemies have freakish flesh or super rotten skin, the one that creeps the most is the one that resembles us the most. Because looking so much like us, but also so disturbing, makes us think that we could turn into something so hideous. Which is also why Alex didn't want her new self to look at her. After playing upside down whack-a-mole with Alex and finally knock her down, actually, let's just watch it together.
are you?
Natalia? Now you can call me Alex.
No! Don't make me do it!
Make you do what, Barry?
God damn it, Natalia!
And that was the game. Brutal ending. Nothing went well for our characters. Natalia's gone, Barry wasn't able to save Mora, and did Claire even survive from that jump? With nothing going our way, we are only left with bitter taste in our mouth. Unless we can make it a little sweeter. Let's rewind a bit. When Claire had that close call against Neil, instead of Claire picking up the gun, the game lets us switch to Moira. Moira, hurt on the floor, refuses to stay put and watch her friend Claire, who saved her countless times, get dogged by her ex Sneaky Link. So she crawls towards the gun on the floor. As she goes, she starts to get flashbacks about the past, about Polly, the accident, about Barry screaming at her, and about her trauma of guns. But to save Claire, Moira picks up the gun and lights up the fuck out of Neil. Now, back into the future. Natalia is being strangled, and right as she is about to lose consciousness,
Moira!
Moira is back! And now with no fear of using a gun, she empties a whole clip on Alex and saves Barry and Natalia. Unfortunately, that didn't finish off Alex, but it was enough for them to run away. And when they couldn't run no more, Claire comes back with a chopper, with a just broke up my ex haircut, and with me.
Fuck yeah!
Moira, I'm so sorry. You were in trouble.
And you came back with a chopper and a sniper rifle, and that's fucking awesome, so shut up!
Let me take care of this.
Are you sure you don't need me, Barry? I mean, Dad.
I'll always need you. But for now, I have this.
And with that comes my favorite part of the whole game. Barry stays on the island to take on Alex, while Claire snipes Alex from a constantly moving helicopter, and it creates this amazing level where Barry has to make space while fighting this horror of a monster, while Claire has to steady her aim while the helicopter and Barry and Alex are moving around. This with a friend on a hard difficulty sounds so fun. And Claire says, fuck it, I'm her. And point blank RPGs Alex right into her core. In this beautiful ending, Claire was able to survive the jump, Moira and Barry were able to make up, and Natalia was able to live a normal life with her new adopted father.
Well, excuse me. Hey, Polly, you see my jacket over there?
Natalia, are you upstairs? Come on down and get ready.
A cage went in search of a bird, but now the bird is gone. The bird has changed.
Fight.